So in this lecture we are going to cover the differences between Linux and Windows, and the many of interviewers may ask like type this question: what you observed from Windows to Linux and Linux to Windows, and which one is flexible, and how you compared these both, and what are the major differences between both. This type of question they ask. So what we are going to go with three different ways. Firstly, we are going with the Linux with Windows basic discussion, and later we are going to compare Linux and Windows based on real world, the based on how it works, and the why should we go with the Linux, and Linux benefits over the Windows. So these three categories we divided. So orally we target interview time, interview point of view only, right? I'm not going to very in depth, just clear cut information I want to present. Right here, the first one, basic differences. Everyone knows what is a Linux and Windows, right? The both are operating systems. Both are operating systems. And the Linux and Windows, the Windows is comes with Microsoft, and the Linux is open source, right? Here, first one, the Linux is open source operating system, and open source in the sense we get the code, we get the code, complete code of this operating system, means you it allowing for customization. And here it is a not if it is not a open source, it is not a open source, and we not get any code, we are not getting any code. So it is not a possible to distributing Windows operating system. There is no distributions, user defined distributions, right? And Linux is free of cost. Free of cost means everyone can download this Linux, and you can set up your Linux operating system in your own desktop. But here this Windows, not a costly, it is a costly actually. You should pay for the system, how many users you have, like how many desktops you have, that much amount you should pay. One operating system is for one device, some situations one operating system is for a couple of desktops. So this kind of price may apply for this Windows Microsoft organization. So it is not a free, right? It is a costly. And when you observe the file names, when you creating a files, we are providing names, right? So this is a case sensitive, and it is a case insensitive. So what is a case sensitive means that, just to observe, we are saving one file, suppose Srikanth one txt, and Srikanth one more file, and here Sri Kant dot txt. So this Linux operating system considers these three are three files, three different files. These three are three different files, but here it consider like a single file. And if you try to make the file name with the same one, it overwrites, right? It overwrites. So next one, here in a Windows, there like a different type of accounts are available by default: administrator, guest mode, and child mode, and standard mode, this type of user. But here super parent, like a root, user, service, lot of these are different kind of users are available. And by default it are providing 63 users, multiple users it allowing na. So what maximum it allows 63 users. And here one important thing is there: when you are setuping Linux, first thing, it is works speedily, setup speedily, very speedily. But A procedure is difficult, but procedure is difficult. Here, Windows setup do speedily. I mean that do speedily in the sense very simple steps, but take more time. Take very more time when compared to this Linux to Windows. And one more difference is also there. It is a fully controlled on updates. Means when you want to update your Linux operating system, then you only updates. It never force. It never force. User can install updates whenever needed, and it takes very less time to do that. But Windows, one thing, it is not a user friendly updates. User not controlled. User not control updates. And if you are doing update, it takes couple of minutes, right? It takes minutes. Some situation, if in case your system is not having a hi-fi internet connection, it may take very huge time. And more secure than Windows. It is very secure. Why? Because internally it having a firewall, and when compared with the Linux, not secure because of hacker attack more than Linux operating system. It is a huge attackers will be attack. So first one, what are the major differences? Linux is open source, free of cost. File names are going with case sensitive, and there are different type of users, and maximum 63 users, multi users it allows. And Linux setup is maybe it is a difficult to set up, but it is works very speedily, set up very speedily, and fully controlled with updates, and it takes very less time to update. And one more is the last one, secure. We are comparing these comparison with one to another. And the next one, and you ask one question. So here the Linux Windows operating systems are not secure. Windows operating systems are not secure, even though the lot of people are using. So here I am saying Windows, if you want to use Windows, definitely maximum people are using antivirus, right? Why we are using antivirus? That is a very big question. And Linux operating system not required for basic works, and it is required but not mandatory. The maximum, it is a very safe. 90% you may never get attacks from the Linux operating system. The next one. So here we are going to compare based on the environments, like a gaming section, how it will be works, and server environment, how it will be works, like that type of question we are comparing with the Linux and Windows. So here you observe the gaming point of view. So gaming point of view, the Windows operating system is the best one. Why? Because Windows is generally considered the better option for gaming, as many popular games are only available for Windows, and many not to run well on Linux without extra setup. You imagine 90% systems are Windows, and games may 90% people may use Windows. So these people only play the game. So what the game developers developed as per Windows environment, and games suitable. There are a lot of GUI effects are available in Windows only. So the Windows gaming point of view, Windows is the best operating system for games. And if you want to play the game with the Linux, definitely you can set up the Linux operating system with a huge configuration setups is required. One more, and business productivity. So everyone knows like MS Office there. So it is a free cost. It is a free of cost. We are getting MS Office, and nowadays everyone is preparing documents and a PPT presentation like Excel spreadsheets, and a lot of tools are available with Microsoft, right? So what the business point of view, business productivity point of view, the MS Office is the best one. Next one, MS Office. One more, customization of OS. Here Linux is highly customizable and can be tailored to meet specific needs, making to it's a popular choice for developer and researchers and other technical users. So here the Linux is for the developer point of view, they can customize, they can research point of view they can be customized, and technical point of view they can customize. So everyone they can get the code and they can customize. That is the benefit of this Linux operating system. And Windows, we never do that kind of distributions. So right, so user may not having a choice for that. Next one, server environment. Here the Linux is often preferred over Windows. The Windows servers are also available, but Linux is preferred for server environments due to its stability and reliability and security. Why? Because one reason I want to tell. So if in case we are using Windows server, if in case we are using Windows server, suddenly it gets updates. Suddenly it gets updates, and definitely it needs a reboot. It needs a reboot. Means some time downtime is possible when we are using a Windows server, and when you are going with a Linux, it is very flexible, right? So many large scale websites and web applications are run on Linux based servers, and like Apache servers and so on. So here the gaming point of view and business productivity point of view, and they may prefer like a Windows operating system. And if in case you are a student, and education point of view also, students may use Linux only for practice their work, right? So and this is not a free now. So what students also prefer, researchers also prefer these Linux operating systems to practice. And customization point of view, Linux is best, and server environment point of view, Linux is best, and for the students is also it's the best. Many people are using, many students are using to practice their programs, right? Next one, why Linux, and why should we go with Linux? And already we have a Windows on operating system, and everyone knows the Windows operating system, and they will be works, and they know how Windows is behaves, right? Why we are going with Linux? So I want to share some features, then we decide that why we are going with Windows. First one, I want to say why we are going with Linux. First thing, it is open source. Open source, and it is a multitasking, multi-user, and one more is like a portable, right? Open source means, and we can get the code, and multitasking, it is allowing for multiple tasks simultaneously, and capable to run multiple applications and process at the same time. And multi-user, by default it allowing for 63 users. And portable, can be installed on all hardware architectures, not for specific. Here why we are going with Linux benefits over Windows, right? First one is open source, and the second one is cost effective, cost no cost, and third one is stability. Why it is a stability? Stable versions less prone to crash and other errors than Windows. And reliability in the sense large servers have been successfully being running without a single second of downtime. So huge time, right? There is no downtime for in a Linux operating system. And security, so very fewer viruses and malwares designed to target Linux systems compared to Windows. And inbuilt firewalls are placed. Customization, so Linux is customizable, and basics of specific needs and performance, they can get the Linux code and they can be customized for their requirement. And performance, and one thing, it is obviously it is a faster than Windows. faster than Windows, and specifies running servers and other high performance computing tasks. So these are the differences. So here the first week general comparison and work point of view and gaming and productivity and customization, and this is why we are going with Linux even though we have a Windows operating system. So here cost effect means the individuals and organizations both can be affected, right? Free of cost in the sense very safe. Windows charges are huge charges, very high. So what the many people, many organizations will be going with Linux. This is one reason, and stability and reliability is also another reasons. And one more major feature is customization. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Bye bye.